St. Gianna Oratory presents Daily Thought of St. Francis de Sales for July 7th. The reason why we never receive the grace of sanctification, one single Holy Communion would be enough to make us a saint, is that we do not allow the Lord to reign in us as He, in His goodness, desires. The Divine Savior comes into our heart and finds it full of desires, affections, and vain aspirations. This is not what He wants. He wants to find our heart empty so He can become its one and only master. Therefore, He says to the holy lover in the book of Song of Songs that she should put a seal on her heart so that no one can enter without His permission. From the life of St. Francis de Sales. On July 7, 1594, the devil aroused a great deal of jealousy because of the general approbation according to Francis de Sales as provost. Some people tried by all means available to nullify it. They insinuated themselves into the heart of Bishop de Granier, pretending to be his friends and zealous promoters of the mitre. They spoke against Francis to the bishop, just as the enemies of Jesus spoke against him and his apostles. All were gathering around Francis de Sales, they said, and followed him more than the real shepherd. The splendor of this applause, according to them, completely overshadowed the office of bishop. The young priest was already setting himself up as a master and a doctor and wanted to reform the clergy. Without doubt, they continued, all this lowered the people's esteem for the bishop. Francis soon came to realize that the bishop's attitude toward him had changed because he was giving credence to these false accusations. Knowing himself to be innocent, Francis resolved before God to keep his feelings of great sorrow to himself. He continued his work in the confessional and the pulpit, his visits to the sick and attendance at priestly gatherings, showing on every occasion the same respect for his beloved prelate. The bishop admired this constancy and piety and began to suspect the insincerity of Francis's detractors. Determined to set matters straight and despising the campaign of lies, the bishop opened his heart and manifested his misgivings to his son, who did not hesitate to acknowledge how much he had suffered. Francis assured the bishop that he had kept silent solely out of respect, and asked that his calumniators be pardoned. The bishop was adamant that they should be punished. But Francis used his influence to obtain their pardon, this being possible only because of his close friendship with the prelate. This friendship was never again to be broken. The holy Bishop de Granier lamented for the rest of his life the fact that he had let himself be led astray by these false rumors against Francis.